Hey, what's up? This is Ivan with the Dream Job CEO YouTube channel, bringing you the best ideas on how to actually find your dream job so that you can live the life that you deserve. And in today's video, what I want to talk about is how do you actually find your dream job? What are some of the strategies that I personally use to be able to find my dream job and that I recommend to a lot of people and my clients whenever they are looking for a career change, or they might be a recent grad, or they're just simply looking to switch a job. So all of that is coming right up. All right, welcome back. So first of all, if you are new to this channel, consider subscribing below and hit that bell button, because that way you'll know exactly when I post new content, and I post weekly. And I talk about things like how to get more interviews, how to stand out in those interviews, how to network with people, and everything else that will help you get a step closer to your dream job. All right, so back to today's topic. What are some of the strategies that you should be using in order for you to really find your dream job? Okay, so first of all, what you don't want to do is you don't want to go out there and start applying to every single job out there, because what happens is, well, two things. One, you're going to end up wasting a lot of time because those applications actually do take a long time to fill out. And number two, you're going to get a bunch of rejections. And here's why. Because it is clear, for example, when I review resumes, and I review resumes on a weekly basis, it's clear when somebody is just applying to get a job, or when somebody is applying to get a particular job and they know how to sell themselves for that particular job, meaning that they have a tailored resume for that particular job. They send out those communications really being interested in that job, and they've done their homework. They know exactly what this job is all about, and they've interviewed with different people in that particular role, and they know exactly what the career path of those people is, what they do on a day-to-day basis, what is the growth potential for those roles. They know everything about those particular jobs. So the number one thing, the first thing that you want to do is you want to get clear on what exactly do you want, so that you don't go out there and waste a lot of time. And the way to do that is you have to really understand what is going to make you excited, what kind of things that you want to do, and what kind of company do you want to work for. And it doesn't have to be one company, because here's the thing: if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, anything could happen. You could have just a bad day, and it could be a bad interview, and you're really counting on that one company, and you didn't get that. So what you want to do instead is you want to come up with maybe 5 to 10 companies, and then a couple of positions that are very similar in each of those companies. That way, what is going to happen when you get that clarity is you're going to understand how do you get from point A to point B, right? Point A being where you are today, and then point B being, what you kind of envision as your dream job. And so when you get that clarity, the second piece is you want to map out the exact things that you need to get done. And those are typically, number one, your resume, number two, your LinkedIn profile, and number three, networking. All right, so we'll go through those in a little bit of a greater detail. So the first thing is your resume. It is super important. That is the number one thing that will help you sell yourself to recruiters, potential hiring managers, or anybody else that is looking for a new candidate. And here's why: because if you make it tailored to the particular position that you're applying for, and if you use their language, you will communicate to them that you can do the things that they're looking for, right? So, on average, I think it's like 4 to 6 seconds that people spend reviewing each resume. And so you want to make sure that your resume stands out, and it is very tailored to a particular job. And so if you want to get a template on a good template that I recommend using, I'm going to link it in the description below, or you will get a tooltip on top that will give you a link on how to get a template. I also have a video on how to use that template, and more importantly, how to come up with a career profile on your resume. I'll link to that in the description below as well. All right, so if the first thing is resume, the second thing is your LinkedIn profile. I also have a video on that. I'm not gonna go into a lot of details on your LinkedIn profile, but the reality is that maybe 95% of people are going to look you up especially if you are, pretty deep into the interviewing process, people will look you up, and a LinkedIn profile is a selling tool to make sure that you can sell yourself before you even start communicating with somebody, right? So you want to make sure that you have a good profile picture, you have a good profile summary on your page, you have a lot of bullet points that highlight the impact you've done before in your career, and you also want to talk about different accomplishments, awards, and things that you do, things that are maybe your interests, that people would find to be interesting, or make you unique, and make sure that you stand out amongst other job candidates. So first one is resume, second one is your LinkedIn profile, and the third one is networking. All right, so this is probably, if nothing else, if you don't take anything else from this video, this is the thing to take away. Now, why is networking important? Well, here's the thing. If somebody is looking to fill in a particular position, the first pool that they look at is the internal candidates, meaning the people that work at the company already and are interested in a particular position. So that's the first pool. The second pool is referrals. That's the pool of resumes that have been referred by people that work at the company already. And then the third pool, which is, which people get to whenever they couldn't find anybody in the first two, that is the pool of people that apply on the company's website and then other websites like Indeed.com, Glassdoor, etc. Right? So you can see that if you are starting in that third pool, the chances are that you are not going to get selected, and oftentimes you don't even get anybody to look at your resume. So the best thing to do is to network so that you end up in the referrals pool, because you can't really end up in the internal candidates pool unless you work at the company, but it's really possible to end up in the referrals pool if you find somebody that you can connect with. And I have a video on how to network. I will also link to that in the description below. But if you find somebody on LinkedIn, for example, it could be somebody that you went to school with, or somebody that graduated from your school before that works at that company. And if you connect with them, if you ask questions about their career, about their job, and just make it about them, they are more than happy to refer you to that particular position that you're looking for, and you will dramatically increase the chances that somebody will look at your resume, and then you would get invited to an interview. So that's the third thing, and it's super important. The fourth thing is once you start getting invites to interviews, practice makes perfect. And how do you practice and how do you prepare for interviews? Well, the main thing is that you have to go through mock interviews. And there are a lot of different websites that could link professionals in your industry to you, and so that you can meet with them, and they could interview you, ask you some questions that you could be asked in a real interview, and also give you feedback, which is super important, because without the feedback, you don't really know what to improve. And almost all the time, people, when you have real interviews, people don't give you feedback. So mock interviews are really important. Make sure that you feel confident, you get practice, and again, practice makes perfect. So those are the four things that will help you get to the next level and will get you a step closer to your dream job. Again, for the mock interview piece, if you couldn't find somebody to mock interview, feel free to shoot me a note. My email is ivan@dreamjobceo.com. We could chat and see if it would be a good fit for me to interview you and give you that practice. So shoot me an email if you can find somebody in your industry, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, so I'll link to all the videos that I talked about in the description below. I want to thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next video.